What if $10 could change a life? For one homeless man, it did. This is the story of a man who found hope in the most unexpected place: a crumpled $10 bill. It was a chilly winter morning in Atlanta. The city buzzed with life, but one man sat unnoticed near a busy street corner. His name was Marcus, a homeless man who hadn't seen a warm bed in over 2 years. Life hadn't been kind to him, but his spirit was far from broken. That day, as Marcus rummaged through a trash bin for anything he could salvage, his fingers brushed against something unusual. A crumpled piece of paper? No. It was a $10 bill. Marcus stared at it in disbelief. $10 wasn't much for most people, but for Marcus, it felt like a small fortune. What should I do with it? He wondered aloud. His mind raced with possibilities: food, coffee, or maybe even a small bottle of warmth for the freezing night ahead. But as he clutched the bill tightly in his hand, a thought stopped him cold. Was there a way this $10 could do more than just get him through the day? Marcus walked toward a nearby diner, his stomach growling with hunger. The smell of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon was almost impossible to resist. As he reached for the door, something caught his eye. A young boy sitting on the curb shivering. The boy couldn't have been older than 10. His clothes were thin, his shoes barely held together, and his face told a story of despair. Marcus saw a reflection of himself in that boy. He hesitated. Should he use the money to feed himself or help this child? The boy looked up, their eyes meeting. There was a silent plea in his gaze. Marcus knelt beside him. "Hey, you okay, kid?" he asked. The boy nodded but didn't speak. Marcus handed him the $10. "Here, go get yourself something warm to eat." The boy's eyes lit up, and for the first time, a faint smile crossed his face. He took the money, whispered a shy, "Thank you," and ran toward the diner. Marcus watched him disappear inside, a strange sense of fulfillment warming his heart. But now, he was back to square one, hungry, cold, and penniless. Did I do the right thing? He wondered. As Marcus walked aimlessly through the streets, he passed a church where a soup kitchen was being held. The aroma of food drew him in, and he joined the line of people waiting for a hot meal. While waiting, a volunteer approached him. She was a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. "You look new here," she said. "What's your name?" "Marcus," he replied hesitantly. They struck up a conversation. Marcus shared a bit about his life, and the woman listened intently. She introduced herself as Grace, the director of a local shelter. "We have a place for people like you," she said. "Warm beds, meals, and even help with finding work." Marcus felt a lump in his throat. Could this be real? He accepted her offer, and that night, for the first time in years, he slept in a warm bed. The next morning, Marcus joined a group at the shelter learning basic job skills. Grace noticed his dedication and introduced him to a friend who ran a small repair shop. Within a week, Marcus was hired part-time, fixing appliances and earning enough to get back on his feet. But the story doesn't end there. A few weeks later, while volunteering at the same soup kitchen that had helped him, Marcus saw a familiar face, the young boy he had given the $10 to. The boy was with his mother, who explained their situation. They had been evicted and were struggling to make ends meet. The $10 had bought the boy food that day, but more importantly, it had led them to the same church, where they were now receiving help. Marcus couldn't believe it. His small act of kindness had created a ripple effect, not only changing his life, but also giving hope to a family in need. Sometimes, the smallest gestures can create the biggest impacts. What would you do if $10 could change a life? Remember, kindness always finds its way back. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. Let us know in the comments. How would you use $10 to spread kindness?